Trump isn't the law and order president. He's the lawless and disorder president. He literally tweeted out a video of his supporters pepper spraying and shooting paintballs into a group of protesters and said it was justified. He's so typical of the rules for the not for me rich fuckers. This silver spoon baby got where he is by breaking laws. He flouts laws while in office. You can't support him and claim to love law and order. Now we are getting somewhere. And Trump is only pantomiming dictatorship to distract you from how he's easily been the worst president in American history. Vote like your life depends on it. People have died in protests in WIN or just within the last couple days. Trump is projecting the crisis on his opponents, but he is the president. This crisis, which he is describing as lawlessness, is happening on his watch. Trump is literally making the case for re-election that only he can stop the crisis created during his term. It is ridiculous. As long as he's president, the protests are going to continue. If Trump's armed militias come out, they will be the ones causing the violence. They're not wrong, but that is the least artful headline I've read in a while. Trump is stoking and amplifying the lawless violence of a very small portion of Americans for political gain. Now, that in this very moment, is when Biden needs to have a speech about unity and decry the actions of a lawless few. I really feel like Trump supporters are largely just some bizarre cult. They seemingly try to piss off people, too. I've even seen huge Trump flags on fire trucks and police cars here. I bet those same cops and firefighters would trip balls if their kid's teacher had a Biden shirt on too. I'm personally on the fence about public servants paid by tax dollars should put anything political on something like a fire truck man shrugging light skin tone. Law and order has usually just been about racism, especially when you consider who is often the target of law and order. He is the quintessential law and order president, because law and order has always been a dog whistle for lock up the scary brown people. People are not going to die in the middle of the street. People are not going to die on the sidewalk if I'm president, okay? Screaming about law and order only really works when you're not the incumbent in charge of the current system. Even before his presidency, Trump was involved in more than 3,500 lawsuits. https://www. USA Today. com/story/news/politics/election/2016/06/01/ Donald Trump lawsuits legal battle/849958554/. It's a negotiating tool. He'd be a nightmare of a neighbor. Republican brainwashing is so concise that virtually any catchphrase they have is, in fact, a mockery of the truth. Pro-life and all lives matter people cherishes the death and dehumanization of their perceived enemies. America first folks puts Putin first. Fiscal conservatives annihilated our budget. I mean, it's like the word democratic in the DPRK. Remember how stuff of this level was happening under Obama? Oh wait, it wasn't. Trump's inflammatory comments are making things worse and people more angry on both sides, and he seems to be making his rhetoric worse and worse. Republican leaders and Fox News have convinced half this country that Chicago, D.C., and Portland are like burning Antifa hellscapes when that is literally not the case. He asked to fight against liberals through an email to all his subscribers. https://www. Snopes.com/factcheck/Trump Army fundraising email/. The fuck? A lawless president makes for a lawless nation. Stop. Being the party of law and order is always a bad thing. It leads to locking up innocents, marijuana smoking putting you in prison for decades, and a police state. It's ironic when someone talks about law and order while actively breaking the law. Lawless. Exactly what came to mind when I began reading about the Postmaster General and his complete disregard for the rule of law. He and the Donald are sworn to uphold the Constitution of the United States, but they clearly could not care less about the Constitution. We must be sure to show up at the polls and vote this narcissistic, racist, megalomaniac out of our government. He wants to be a dictator/king, and not a public servant. We have to urge everyone to show up and vote Biden. Don't throw away votes on any other candidate, or write-ins for Bernie. We have to focus all of our voting power into one single candidate in order to rid our system of this corrosive cancer. The law in New Hampshire is you have to wear masks at gatherings over 100 people. 50 to 60% of his supporters were not wearing masks at his rally, and they jeered when they asked them to do so. They didn't, however, remove anyone from the premises for refusing to wear their masks, which made it an illegal gathering. So much for law and order. Laws for others perhaps, no. You see, what's happening now in Trump's presidency is exactly what's going to happen if Biden is president. We need Trump to come in and fix this. Wait a minute, this is Trump's America. Damn. Who would have thunk a failed bankrupt trader would ruin the country? Yeah, pretty sure anytime he tweets law and order, he's just watching the TV show. Let's be honest here. He's a fucking idiot. Forever the fucking idiot president. He wants laws against black, Mexicans and peasants, and wants loopholes for white and loyal supporters willing to use corruption to help embezzle money out of the government and back to his campaign. This is all happening because of Trump's ineffectiveness. RNC, Republican Nazi Convention. I like how Biden is expected to speak out about certain things, by the right, but the actual president isn't held to the same standard. When Jeb was debating him, he labeled Trump the chaos candidate. Jeb had him pegged. Trump will blow everything up if it helps him. So firing paintball guns at people without eye protection, let alone their consent, is somehow not considered assault. I'm flabbergasted. Trump is the reason people are dying daily. As a German, seeing this shit going on in your country. Seeing the sick rants at the RNC. All alert bells are ringing. 4 more years and the USA could look like the Third Reich. That's exactly how it starts. Please go out and vote and stop this idiot. Is it possible that when he tweets law and order, he's just really excited about the TV show? From another thread, but unless we change the optics, https://www. CNN.com/2020/08/29/politics/Kenosha protests Democrats analysis/index. HTML, he is going to continue to ramp up the chaos and death because it actually strengthens his re-election campaign. The more people are seeing the legitimate BLM movement as riots and looting, with stuff like the killings in WIN, the better his chance of being re-elected is. The American people voted him 4 years ago, they knew what they would get. It became even worse. The Republicans should have get rid of him, the impeachment was a chance for the Republican Party. Now they made him their candidate again. What a mistake. The party must face that they're a bunch of power-mad brown-nosers. Law without equality, order without justice, winners and losers. These are hallmarks of an authoritarian desire. Looking in from the outside, not American, it appears Trump wanted to divert attention from COVID and he has succeeded. He is on firmer footing on the issue of protests/riots as opposed to COVID. His side has semi-convincing talking points on this issue which might sway independents. On COVID, nearly everybody agrees he failed. He desperately wanted to change the talking points, and it's surprising that the Democrats are falling into the trap and following the agenda set by him. In 2016, experts were calling him a malignant narcissist. It's become painfully obvious he is a sociopath. Yeah, apparently 100% non-USA, and only 50% USA, already know this. He needs to be stopped in November, otherwise he is going to destroy this country. He's the perfect smokescreen for the real hostile takeover of America by the elite right wing. They'll dump him when his usefulness runs out. Just look at every appointment and policy since day one. Dismantle and deregulate, destroy public sector, etc., etc., etc. Everyone just argues about what he says while he is just the rubber stamp for McConnell and Co.'s agenda. They're creeping into every nook and cranny of local governments while we complain about a racist idiot being a racist idiot. He's just the hand distracting from what the other hand is doing.